You could see she could have a great jukebox musical, I think. Because
Hmm.
when you look at, I think she has the body of work now to be able, like, I think there could be something really, really cool put together, whether it's sort of a fictionalized version of her own life, or, a story about perseverance and underdogs. I think there could be a pretty good musical on using her music as sort of a soundtrack.
Okay, she heard it here. If she gets the idea, you
Yeah,
know where it came from.
exactly. Or she could hire me as the consultant.
Right. Well, and that's not, I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't count for as an EGOT, but she's a foodie, and also she has this wine. She's got her own farm. And tell us about what's this wine that we can't get, or what's the secret to getting a bottle of this stuff?
I know. So that was like actually the funniest thing. I had no idea that she was such a wine connoisseur, actually, until like I started like digging into things, and I was like, wow, there's really a lot here. So it's cool. It's Two Wolves Wine, and it's twowolveswine.com, and it's really interesting. There's a whole backstory to it. There's a whole, like, she talks about her journey with that. She talks about why she's into wine. Like, it's I think a lot of times a lot of celebrities will have wines, and they'll just sort of oh, I'm just going to put our name on this label, like whatever. And this is really, she's really legitimate. She's very, very serious about it, and she's very serious about making it good. And, so basically you have to join. And I think this is pretty common. I think Gerald Casale, that's like his model too, that you basically have to like have membership in her wine club. And then they can, you have an invitation, you can purchase wine if you live in, the right states. So they ship to 41 states out of 50. So,
Oh,
but
she's
yeah,
Heavy
choosing the states not to ship to.
yeah, exactly.
Ohio, one of them.
Ohio, you can actually. So
Oh,
I've considered it. I'm like, I'm curious about that. So yeah, so that's
oh,
what's called, yeah, Two Wolves Wine. And so I think it's really interesting. She's very spiritual about it almost, which I think is kind of cool.
I love hearing her talk or reading what she says about it. But also, Dave, it's in like Santa Ynez,
mm.
and I think you can go there. And they've said that, or they've said whatever I've read said, but sometimes you'll even see her working there.
Yeah.
She says it's almost like therapeutic.
And that's what I
Yeah.
love about it. Yeah, that she's kind of like, maybe this is my retirement plan, and maybe this
Mhm.
is something I'm going to pass along to my kids, because she actually works on there. And I mean, I think that's also kind of different than a lot of the celebrity wines too, is that she's very like from like the beginning to the end. Like, she is all in and very hands on.
Makes sense. Yeah, I was at the Napa Bottle Rock Festival, and
Oh
she
yeah.
was there, and they had a I can't remember what chef she was with, but she's just talking food. She was really engaged in it, and just you know very involved in the food making process. You could tell just like she's really into it, and then of course a few hours later she's over the she's soaring, doing somersaults, and like, oh, okay, this woman does it all. It's amazing.
Is that is the festival where she got the wheel of cheese? Isn't that correct?
Oh,
The wheel of brie, and or the person who brought a relative's ashes on the stage.
no, this was what I went to last year. This is something that
Okay.
happened recently.
Okay.
What? Yeah, can you
Oh, I read this.
happening in this world where people? I mean, people have always thrown stuff on stage. But people's ashes. I was going. That was one thing. I like. Someone was that. Did this person actually want this pink to have this person's ashes? Did you ever follow up on that?
I don't really know. Yeah, because it was
You're the
in my
journalist.
yard.
Come on.
It was the British Summertime Festival, and like and it supposedly someone brought that. I have no idea. Like, I don't necessarily know. First off, that's very uncomfortable, because it's like, there's questions like, is that actually safe? And I honestly do not know if that's like safe to bring ashes and, have that disperse in a crowd. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was like someone just tossed it on stage, a bag of it. So, which was very odd. The Wheel of Cheese, I think, was a separate show. But
Yes.
yeah, someone gave her the massive like wheel of cheese. And I don't quite understand that.
It's a nice pairing with Two Wolves. You get the little Two Wolves. You get a wheel of cheese.
So I take that back. That was in London as well. So that was like the same kind of run of concerts. And so everyone was apparently in a giving mood that time for Pink. She was like, what? Why are you giving me this? Like, I think both things were befuddling to her.
Yeah. That she did seem shocked about the ashes.
Yeah.
You know, she's to throw Pink off.
Right.
Yeah.
It is like, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I think there's such a conversation right now about, you know, concert etiquette and, you know, the way people are throwing things on stage and hitting artists, which is just so awful and inappropriate. And so I think that's, you know, I think we can chalk it up to, you know, people trying to figure out how to act at concerts again after COVID, maybe. I'm not sure.
I love Adele. Adele will knock him into place.
Oh, I would not mess around with Adele. Absolutely not. Like, yeah, exactly. You know, she would not suffer fools gladly. That's why we love Adele.
Yeah.